Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Fallout 2 blind. Now, last time I hijacked a ship full of civilians and took it to an Enclave Base, which seems to me like a supremely bad idea and also kind of cruel. Like, I didn't ask those people if they want to be brought here, and there is a high possibility of them dying as a result, so that's kind of ruthless actually. And if any of you know if there's an alternative to doing that or something, then I would be interested to know, because at the point where I upload this I will have already finished the game, so spoilers don't matter. But basically that's kind of weird. What is also kind of weird is that there are sculpted faces on those pipes. Like, first of all, why would you devote time and resources to do that? But second of all, and more importantly, if the pipe is actually this shape, I think it would be it would be wrong for efficiency. It would be more prone to breaking open, for example, because of the irregular shape. So overall that's pretty weird, but let's get inside. Turret, but seemingly they are not attacking me, which is interesting. The Enclave. The Enclave energy something. Now that's an interesting coat of arms. I'm not quite sure what it depicts, because seemingly it depicts Atlas, right? Holding up the world. But why are there two of them? Like, by definition there shouldn't be two Atlases, because his role in that myth was to single-handedly hold up the heavens. So by having two of them, you're kind of diluting the original meaning of that. Like, if the Enclave is envisioning themselves as Atlas, you know, if they are saying, look, we're holding up the weight of heavens on our shoulders, we're so great, then why are there two of them? It's like, we're kinda great, we're like 50% as cool as Atlas was. I don't quite understand that, but oh well, there are many things I don't quite understand. There's a computer, so let's check it out. Welcome to Poseidon.net. Enter menu selection. Okay, how about help? Welcome to Poseidon.net help system. We regret that the help files are currently out of date and unavailable. Seek an update? Sure. A user help file update not available with trial Poseidon.net software. Please purchase the full version for a full access to the further updates. Your trial for Poseidon.net access is 59,439 days overdue. Now, it's interesting to me whether this is commentary on the Enclave being cheap, or is it a commentary on the fact that they cannot get an update ever, because obviously civilization has crumbled. But maybe it still updates the counter. Maybe it's still trying to reach the original server on which the upgrade would have been stored, but it obviously can't because it doesn't exist anymore. Listing the terminal displays of about 500 names. Oh, this one looks kind of special. Presidential passkey security override. Yeah, but I doubt I can hack that though. It specifically mentions a passkey, so I suppose the president of the Enclave has a special pass to this computer. But let's see what it says if I try to click this. Security override requires presidential only passkey. Options allowed: counter-insurgency and emergency defensive system shutdown. Okay, what's counter-insurgency? In the event of an armed rebellion, Presidential Security Keycard allows defensive systems to be turned on all previously loyal but now threatening units within an area. Defensive systems are programmed to attack the most dangerous foe first. Warning: current operational level entry levels only. Okay, so I can make the turrets attack the Enclave soldiers, which is obviously pretty useful, but I doubt I can hack that without the passkey. But this does sound useful. So, presidential security keycard required to access this function. Keycard not found. Yeah, so I need to find the president of the Enclave and steal his keycard, or kill him, presumably, and take it from his corpse, if I want to use that. What's an emergency defensive system shutdown? Well, that's pretty self-explanatory, actually. Emergency defensive system shutdown temporarily shuts down all active security systems on a level-by-level basis. The shutdown starts deep diagnostic procedure before initializing auto-reboot of security systems. Okay. Presidential security passkey not recognized. Access denied. I wonder if I can fool the scanner into thinking I have the key by hacking into the access file. Reinitializing scanner. Security passkey scanner malfunction noted. Okay, so it didn't really work. What if I log in as Smith J? Security status? Download complete. So did it really download something? Sierra Depot, Abologist. I don't think it did. Interesting and kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to currently switch to this because it's quicker if I don't have my weapon out. It's interesting that the turrets are not attacking me. Level 2, all clear. I'll put you on report. Okay, so I'm sure glad I'm not on the mainland. This is pretty weird, I would say, bordering on nonsensical. Section B, all clear. Sound off, 1, 2, 3, 4, bring it on down. This is bordering on nonsensical because it seems the Enclave do not recognize me as an enemy. Like, why don't they check? Obviously, I have an Enclave uniform, but I've arrived here unscheduled on a giant oil ship. Why don't they check that? Why don't they ask me for papers or for like authorization, or why don't they ask me a password or anything? That's kind of nonsensical, and I'm not sure if I buy that. Also, why do they have people in vault suits? It's a shame about Vice President Byrd. Might as well rest a bit. It's a shame. The weather is always the same here. My next shift isn't about a few hours. Okay, so something wrong happened to the Vice President, but I'm not quite sure what exactly. Okay, so this is just food storage, I guess, which I do not need at the moment. Level 2, all clear. What are you looking at? Get back to work. I'll put you on report. Move along. All the clear. Get back to work. Now I wonder if they are going to object to me looking through their lockers. Let's try that. No. So again, this is pretty nonsensical to me. Like I'm some random scrub they have never seen before in their lives. And I'm running around, nobody knows me. I've arrived on a huge tanker, and now I'm rifling through their possessions, and nobody cares. Like, are they all high? Is it actually a plot point that they don't care? Is it supposed to signify that they are idiots? Or something? Because it's definitely weird. I'll tell you that much. might as well rest a bit. Okay, so showers here. I'm not entirely interested in that. I'm just checking if anyone has anything to say. The project is proceeding well. Yeah, this is weird and kind of like unimmersive to me. Like, I'm not sure if I buy this. How incompetent can you be? And how clueless about your own base's defenses can you be? What are you? The project is proceeding well. Flowers? Weird. Well, I don't really need the cash anymore. I'm just picking it up as a habit. Pulse grenades. Jodie's home now, smoking grass. Jodie's pumping your wife, he sings. Okay, but why don't they check who I am? Like, it's ridiculous. This is their main base, and I've arrived here on a huge ship, unannounced, and they seemingly don't care. I'm currently rifling through their stock, and they don't care either. So overall, I find this all to be ridiculous. Okay, I doubt I actually need that. But maybe I will pick it up and then immediately, I doubt I'm going to need that anymore, immediately read it and be done with it. Although I have over 100, right? So it's going to do nothing, if I understand this correctly. Yeah, you learn nothing new. Well, in that case, I can probably throw it away. And I can't even talk with anyone properly. Like, what's the point of this location? And why do they not attack me? Like, don't get me wrong, it's actually kind of beneficial to me, as it would be very difficult to defeat such a large magnitude of people. But I question the in-universe reasons they might have for not attacking me. It is pretty weird. Okay, I don't get it. And keep on keeping on. Corridor clear. Minigun, not interested in that. Some labs. It's a shame about Vice President Byrd. God bless America. Welcome to Poseidon.net. Log on. List users. This is all the same computer then. I need the presidential passkey to accomplish anything. Okay. Oh, no more medicine. I can't take it anymore. Where's Martin? Where are the spirits when you need them? Let me out. Help us. Free us. Where's Martin? Who's Martin? So I guess that's where they keep all of the people from Arroyo, as well as some vault dwellers. Okay. I will go and check that area, you know, the prison out. So obviously I am here to free them. Can't you see I'm working? Can't you see I'm working here? Bugger off. Okay, so this is still the same. It's still on trial, blah blah blah. Nothing can be accomplished here. What's this room? What are you looking at? Holodeck clear. I don't recall asking for any test subjects. Go pester somebody else. Like, why? It seems like it's unfinished or something, or like it's a bug. I'm literally running around in my ultimate enemy's base, and they don't care, and I'm stealing their equipment, and they don't care either. So that's overall very weird, and I'm not sure what to think about that. Might as well rest. Don't you have anything better to do? Well, actually, not really. I'm just trying to explore this place. Okay, I don't need the skill books anymore. Okay, let's check out the prison then. Hello there, I'm Martin Frabisher. I speak for these people. Thank God you're here. Who are you people, first of all? From what vault are you? They took us all from our vault because they wanted to test subjects for an antidote. They needed people from outside the Enclave, and who were still pure strain humans, so they took us. They took you from where? They came to the front door of the vault. Somehow they already knew the security code. They just opened the door, and their armored troopers marched us into vertebrates and flew us here. Then the experiments began. He shudders. The vault? What vault are you from? Vault 13, of course. Oh, interesting. So I guess that must have happened before the Death Claws moved in. They were the original inhabitants of this place. They were all kidnapped by the Enclave. I was looking for that. Hey, are you the overseer? We don't use that term anymore. There used to be an overseer many years ago, but he did a bad thing, and many of our people left the vault, only to die in the wastes. I'm sure he was only to die in the wastes, I'm sure. He was tried and sentenced to death for his crime. We haven't used the title since. I don't blame you. I understand that an overseer kicked my ancestor, the Vault Dweller, out into the wastes. The Vault Dweller? How long ago was that? Say, 80 years perhaps? Yes, it was 80 years ago. How did you know that? 80 years ago, a hero saved our vault, and then the overseer exiled him. Others followed him into exile, and they were never heard from again. We remember that event with great shame. Hey, you're talking about my ancestor and the people who founded my village. They all came from the vault of the Holy 13. Incredible, that's our vault, once again. the people of the Vault must rely upon, this time, the great-grandson of the Vault Dweller to save us. Well, I wish I knew how to save you exactly. To turn out of those force fields, I think you're going to have to turn off the main supply power. How am I supposed to manage to do that? I've been listening, and it seems that the main power reactor is controlled by a large computer 3 levels below us. If you manage to blow that up, it should turn off the power, and we can go free. Great idea, but I don't know how to blow up a reactor. I don't have any explosives. I'm sure that wherever the guards have their barracks, must have quite an arsenal. They'll have explosives there, I'm sure of it. Okay, good idea, so I can use the explosives and use them to blow up the computer, then you can run topsides to my ship. I'll be right behind you. Thank you. Godspeed and good luck. Okay, more questions? Again, this is ridiculous. The whole setup is ridiculous. I'm standing here in the middle of their prison, chatting at length with their prisoners, and nobody cares. Why is that? I don't understand the situation here. Okay, to be honest, I asked all of those questions pretty much. Because how did you people get here? They were kidnapped by the Enclave. What are you doing here? Kidnapped by the Enclave? Are you the officer? No. And who are you? The people of Vault 13. I think I'm more or less... what are you doing here? They're using us to test some kind of an antidote for a fatal virus. What kind of a virus? They called it the FEV toxin. It does horrible things to people before it kills them. The only good thing about it is that it kills so quickly. Sure looks painful though. That sounds nasty. Why are they using your people for a test? They took us because they needed pure strain humans. He said that already. Okay, are you the overseer? Hey, how did you get that kidnapped by the Enclave? So I think that's all. Nice to meet you, Martin, but I've got people to free. Goodbye. Yes, I hoped that's why you're here. You've got to free us. Of course, I wouldn't let anyone stay trapped in this place. Goodbye and good luck. Yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going to need it. Oh, that's the Elder of Arroyo.
Chosen One, how did you get here?
I've come to rescue you.
Careful, do not touch the glow wall. I think the machine that feeds it is beneath us. Destroy it so we may escape. How did you get here?
I have a ship.
If you destroy the machine, we will find the ship. Hurry, there are not many of us left.
What happened?
Men came to our village in flying machines and took us. There were others too, from the Holy 13. I thought we were saved. I thought we were going to heaven.
And then?
Then they brought us here, to hell. They have killed most of us with something they call FEV. They will kill us all before they are through. Do you know what must be done, Chosen One?
FEV?
That is what they call it. They stick needles into our skin like stim packs. But then terrible things happen. Then
what?
Then the skin bubbles like maggots beneath it. Boils grow and burst. Blood runs from your ears and your tongue swells. Those who are lucky choke to death. Those who are not...
They will pay.
You must destroy the machine and kill the devils in this place. We will meet you outside. And Chosen One, if you have not found the GECK, seek it here. Our freedom is nothing if we cannot save our village. Now go.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did I leave the GECK on the mainland with my companions? I think I might have. Okay, this is hilarious. Hilarious and kind of sad and embarrassing because I literally left the main the item that is the main objective of the game behind me. But I guess she's suggesting that there might be another GECK over here, which in itself is kind of pointless and weird, because it means that I didn't really even need to find it, because it would be here the entire time anyway. Like, why is that, if that's true? That's kind of weird from a game design perspective. But what do I know? Okay, let's continue. But that's a colossal blunder, to be honest, to leave it behind. It's the most crucial thing. Oh, is this a maze? Is this one of those each click of the computer? Yeah, this is a maze. Okay. Because each click of the computer opens a different set of doors. And also the floor is electrified. Returning to duty station. Stop stomping those grapes. Can't park it here. Jody's home, smoking grass. Corridor clear. Okay, let's look around. Maybe for some more stimpaks. And also, I am going to need explosives. They said as much to blow up a computer that is responsible for keeping up the force field in the prison. So I have to look around for those as well. Speak of the devil. This is the GECK. Okay, but I have to leave something behind to pick it up. Maybe I have enough stimpaks, although it would probably be good if I took the first 8 bags. But I don't want to leave ammunition behind. Okay, I doubt I'm going to need Xander root at this point. What can I leave behind? First aid kit and a paramedic kit. Now, what is the difference in practical terms? Like, is paramedic's kit simply better? This bag contains instruments and chems used by paramedics in the field. The tools contained are specifically designed for high trauma cases. Okay, I don't need the drugs, I guess. I guess I could leave 50 behind. I'm not going to use 200 ammunition, I don't think, in this location. Hopefully. Although, judging by the number of enemies, I'm not entirely sure. But to be honest, they aren't attacking me yet, for reasons that are utterly incomprehensible to me. And if they start attacking me, then I feel like I might not be able to defeat them anyway. Because there are so many of them. Like, I'm not sure if I'm actually strong enough to do it. Okay, that might have been a mistake. I'm trying to get here, or alternatively maybe here. I guess let's check this first. Nope, this is just a side room of some sort. Enclave armor. Advanced power armor Mark II. Is it advanced power armor Mark 1? Okay, but if I throw it away, are they going to the current one? Are they going to recognize me and attack me? Yes. Okay, but can I switch them so that they don't know it? Because this is Mark II, so presumably a little bit better at the very least. Where is it? Just don't forget the GECK. Obviously, it would be rather embarrassing. You're too encumbered. Yeah, I can see that. Question is, can I even free enough carrying capacity to pick it up? I'm not quite sure, to be entirely honest. And even then, I'm not sure if it's going to work. But it's worth trying if it's better, and supposedly it is, because it is Mark II and my is Mark 1. Okay, I don't think chems weigh anything. So, can I pick it up? I can. And can I switch them? My current armor class is what? 45. And this is 50. So it is better. And they didn't notice, somehow. Even though I had to undress from the first one and get the second one on, which is, again, ridiculous. Like, all of this is ridiculous. Can't carry that much, damn it, I have to do it one by one. The whole premise of this final mission seems unfinished to me. It seems like something they haven't thought through, and I kind of find that annoying. I definitely find that weird, at the very least. Okay, I don't need the ammunition. I do, however, need explosives, if I find any. What is that? Gauss rifle. M72 rifle is of German design. It uses electromagnetic field to propel rounds at tremendous speeds and pierce almost any obstacle. Okay, so it's like a railgun. Let's check its damage, I guess, compared to the plasma rifle. So the plasma rifle is 30 to 65, 32 to 43. Okay, so this is unambiguously better. Let's not forget the GECK this time. Again. Just ammunition. I'm still looking for explosives. How do I get there? To be honest, if I don't figure it out soon-ish, then I'm going to die. I guess alternatively I can heal. And probably I will have to. Okay, I have a passage to here, I guess. Is that it? Nope. Okay, you lived through the puzzle room, so let's use this to heal, I guess. Hit 4 hit points. It's not so great, let me tell you that. 10 hit points is better. So are those for 2 different skills, doctor and first aid, or? Yes, they are, because doctor gives me 50 and first aid gives me 25, but I will have to finish it off with regular old stimpaks as well, because I don't have enough first aid to just heal with that. Okay, let's continue. Who goes there? Well, your greatest enemy, and you apparently don't even know or care? I don't recall asking for any test subjects. You see sturdy blast doors, they seem to melt into the floor and ceiling. There is no way in which to open those doors. There is no apparent locking mechanism. Okay, so presumably computer controlled or something? Who are you? It's a shame about Vice President Byrd. You see a war room table. Can I maybe use science on this? Nope. Council room table, a map of the world. Pretty. A small, nervous looking man. Hello, trooper. What are you doing in the Vice President's office? What? The what? I am Vice President Daniel Byrd. I'm glad to meet you. Well, it's weird again that they are just talking to me, not realizing who I am. You're just another part of the whole problem here. The vice part, if I would say so. I am not part of the problem. I am a Republican. Okay, like I said, part of the problem. That's not true. Republicans understand the importance of bondage between a mother and a child. That's the key to the solution of all problems. We need a return to family values. What? What are you talking about? Is this guy insane? Is that what they were implying when saying it's a pity about President Byrd? Like, did he suffer a head injury that made him crazy? What you and the Enclave are up to has nothing to do with family values. I stand by all the misstatements that I made. What? You're quite mad. You do realize that, don't you? Tell me, how do you spell psycho? With a P or without? Well, with. Of course you do, of course. Any loyal citizen of these great United States would do the same. Okay, so he is clearly insane. He has no idea what he's talking about. In fact, he seems demented to me in the most literal meaning of that word, as he sounds as a person who might have dementia or some other related mental illness, because or alternatively he might be schizophrenic, because what I'm trying to say is that this conversation seems to follow no logical pattern at all. Like, it's not like the content of what he's saying is crazy, but the whole structure of this dialogue is crazy, and it makes no sense, because one thing does not link with the other. Why is that? We have to work together, because if we don't succeed, we run the risk of failure. Yeah, that's kind of what failure, what not succeeding implies. Maybe your failure wouldn't be such a bad thing. I mean that if we don't want to go back to tomorrow, we want to move forward. Isn't that the only way to go? Yes, I like that direction. I have made good judgments in the past. I have also made good judgments in the future, so by all means, let's go in that direction. Okay. I believe we are on an irreversible trend towards more freedom and democracy, but that could change. The polluted environment of the waste could use a little freedom for a change. Don't be silly, it isn't the pollution that's harming the environment, it's the impurities in our air and water that are doing it. That's exactly what pollution is, you nutcase. Okay, I really have to... Although, I kind of want to continue this conversation just to see what other crazy stuff he's going to say, so you wouldn't be so flippant about it if you were on the mainland. Well, that's the thing. The Enclave is a man-made island surrounded by water. Well, did you forget to add something to that statement, like a point? One word sums up the responsibility of any vice president, and that one word is to be prepared. Isn't that 3 words? Preparedness is 1 word. Isn't that what you meant? Perhaps that's the best. Keep it brief. After all, verbosity leads to unclear, inarticulate things. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine being inarticulate. Surely this guy would know nothing about that. Well, you can't be too careful. After all, people that are really very weird can get into sensitive positions and have a tremendous effect on history. Yeah, I can see that. I believe that we are on an irreversible trend towards more freedom. Okay, he already said that, so I really have to be going. Carry on, trooper. The future will be a better tomorrow. Yeah, whatever. I have to speak with the actual president, and by speak, I mean I have to kill him. Well, I don't have to. I kind of want to take his key, but I guess also let's give him a chance to explain his views. They all seem awfully chill about me being here.
Well, hello there. Glad to make time for one of our gallant troopers, but I am rather busy, so, what can the President of the United States of America do for you?
Well, you can tell me what's going on here.
You really don't know, do you? Let me tell you about mankind's salvation. A little history first.
Well, okay.
There was a great war, long before we were born. Our gallant soldiers fought from the Yukon to the Yangtze.
Yeah, I knew about that part. Go on.
We were winning, too. And then those damn Reds launched. We barely got our birds up.
Doesn't seem as though it helped us much.
Well, no, it didn't. But at least it knocked the damn Red Menace back into the Stone Age.
And us with it.
Well, no, not quite. You see, we had planned ahead. We were ready.
What do you mean?
We had a number of sanctuaries that would enable the glorious American civilization to endure. This facility, The vaults were part of the great plan.
Those damn vaults didn't work the way they were supposed to. A lot of people in them died.
Actually, they worked almost exactly the way they were supposed to. You might call it a social experiment on a grand scale.
An experiment?
The vaults were set up to test humanity. Some had not enough food synthesizers. Others had only men in them. Yet others were designed to open after only 6 months. They each had a unique set of circumstances designed to test the occupants.
Okay, so unfortunately I already knew that because of Fallout 3, New Vegas and 4. So, because obviously if you were playing in chronological order of the release of the Fallout games, then this presumably was meant as a revelation to you. It was meant as a plot twist on the concept of the vaults, but unfortunately for me it wasn't. What about Vault 13? What was its purpose?
Vault 13 was a special case. It was supposed to remain closed until the subjects were needed. Vault 13 was, in scientific parlance, a control group.
But they all would have died if not for my ancestor. They all would have died if my ancestor didn't get them a replacement water chip. That doesn't seem to fit in with your plan.
An unfortunate and unforeseen accident. However, as it turns out, a rather fortuitous one.
What do you mean?
As it turns out, we needed test subjects from untainted pre-war human stock, your ancestors in Vault 13, and some freshly mutated stock, the villagers from Arroyo.
Why?
For the project. It's almost ready. Humanity's salvation is almost at hand, and the United States of America will be the progenitor of that rebirth.
Rebirth? What do you mean?
The only way for true humans and democracy to be safe is to cleanse the mutants from the globe. We humans will take back that which is rightfully ours.
I'm a true human too.
I'm sure you think so. But tests performed on your tribesmen have all shown that you are guilty of mutation, and it's a damn good thing the project is ready.
Why?
Some of the members of your tribe are showing some extremely interesting changes. If the danger to true humanity weren't so great, I would think about studying them, but that's not to be.
Not to be? Why?
The project will cleanse all the mutants from our fair land and the rest of the globe. Once again, America will be the world's policeman.
Cleanse the mutants? That sounds a bit drastic. Yeah, a bit. How are you going to do that?
We found a research facility in operational shape about 70 years ago, a former military base that had been used to research a special virus.
A virus?
Yes, the FEV virus. It was originally developed to turn soldiers into super warriors, but it failed. The warriors were tough and strong, but far too stupid. However, our brilliant chemical core altered it.
Altered the virus? Why?
To turn it into a staggeringly effective killer. Any humanoid that isn't inoculated against its effects before its release will die. That is the project.
That's insane, obviously.
No, that's humanity's last, best hope. That's what we've been working towards all these years.
So you have all this poison and no way to spread it around.
Oh, but that's one of the advantages of the FEV virus. We can release it right here, and the jet stream will carry it worldwide. It'll have plenty of time to cleanse every nook and cranny of the globe.
Okay, then why did you have to kidnap my villagers and the people from Vault 13?
Test subjects? Your villagers are all descended from Vault stock, and we had to make sure that the FEV toxin was still effective. The subjects from Vault 13 test that, and an inoculation against the FEV.
You're not testing the inoculation on my people?
It's hardly necessary. I'm sure we could, and it would work, but there's no reason to do so.
Did it ever occur to you, perhaps, by some divine providence, that what you're doing is wrong? Like, I can't wrap my head around the level of their, evilness, because they basically want to genocide the entire world over some very small deviations in DNA. And this, even disregarding how monstrous that is from an ethical perspective, it makes me question how reliable that would be from a practical perspective, because how many people are there even in this base? If they are going to leave this base, the people of the Enclave, as the only humans left on Earth. So would that even be enough? Could they actually rebuild civilization if they succeeded? I kind of press X to doubt. So did it ever occur to you, maybe, that what you're doing is wrong?
Never. Part of the president's job is to make the tough decisions. A lot of near-humans will sacrifice their lives for the return of humanity. Humans will prevail.
Well, just because everyone out there doesn't have the exact same copy of your DNA doesn't give you a license to exterminate them.
Oh, I don't relish this decision. If there was another way... But there isn't. No price is too high for the survival of the human race. If you were human, you'd feel the same way.
You really believe that, don't you?
Yes, I do. Even killing me won't help you. There's nothing you can do to stop the release.
Well, maybe I'll just figure out a way to give you a taste of your own medicine.
You could try, I suppose, but soon the staff of the Enclave and Navarro will be inoculated.
Oh, they aren't already?
We just have to distribute the supplies. A matter of hours. Besides, the Enclave is a sealed unit. No air or contaminants get in or get out.
We'll see. In the meantime, I'm taking you out of the picture, personally. Oh, do I have to kill him?
You might find that tougher than you think. If you do, I'll go to my reward knowing that I died a patriot and a servant of humanity.
Okay, I don't want to kill him yet, because presumably that will raise the alarm. I want to check out the rest of the rooms I have not checked out yet. But overall, this is all very weird. Why doesn't he kill me just as a precaution? Why do they let me run around? Like, that's insane. Is this supposed to showcase how deranged they are? Because it's sort of straining the bounds of credulity for me. But right now, I'll just let you think about your coming death. Don't touch the alarm. Will he really not? Hey, soldiers, are you hostile? Corridor clear. Okay, he's clearly insane in many ways than one. I mean, more ways than one. Because why didn't he raise the alarm? He could, I understand that they probably think I'm inferior to them, but why take the chance? Why don't they just kill me and be done with it? The president says I kiss the best. This is the president's personal private secretary. Might as well rest a bit. I don't understand the whole setup of this final location. It doesn't make sense to me. And overall, I find it very, very weird and kind of nonsensical. Book of Science. Who are you? Welcome to the Chemical Core section, Trooper. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Charles Curling. Now that we have been introduced, get the hell out of my lab. Okay, so I can actually introduce myself. but it was clear that the president already knew I am, because he said your tribesman and he said I'm not a human, so he already knows who I am. Why don't they care? It's insane. I cannot wrap my head around this. So I guess I might as well introduce myself to this guy as well and see what he has to say. I'm not who you think I am. I am Trevor from Arroyo, and we've got something to talk about. Well, Trevor, I don't know how you escaped your cell, but I don't think we have anything to talk about. That's where you're wrong. A couple of times. You need to talk to me. Who are you, and why should I spend time talking to you? Well, I'm from Arroyo, and I need to talk to you about saving thousands of lives. Oh, maybe I can actually convince him to, turn away from the Enclave? I don't see how there is much I need to talk to you about. No, I don't see how there is much I need to talk about with a mutant. Soon enough, real humans will retake the planet for their own, and you will be just another unfortunate reminder of the war. Real humans? What are you talking about? I'm as human as you are. Oh, your DNA is more than just a little different. It's quite different. If I weren't so pressed for time by the project, I would have... I'd be interested in running further tests on your people, other than the FEV toxological study, of course. Fascinating work, really. How is our DNA different? There are a number of, primarily, very subtle changes. I haven't had the time to look into the ramifications of those changes yet. Also, I would have to backtrack to isolate the initial gene stock before I could hazard any guess on the ideas, the direction the changes are taking. All in all, though, the information is clear enough. Clear enough? What information? Why, the information that you and your tribe are no longer human, of course, since your tribe has only been out from a vault, let's see, Vault 13 was it? For some 80-odd years. Anyone out longer is certain to be even more compromised. Yes, I'm afraid the conclusion is unavoidable. What conclusion? Why, I thought I had made myself perfectly clear. The conclusion is that you and all of your kind are no longer human. In order to retake the Earth and to maintain the integrity of the human race, all of you mutants will have to be destroyed. Destroyed. The project that the Enclave has dedicated itself these past several decades has been the re-establishment of the human race upon the continental United States. God bless America. That doesn't sound as if it would take decades to achieve. Oh, just establishing an outpost wouldn't take long. We've already done that with Navarro, but it has taken a long time to work out the proper method of the eradication procedure. Eradication procedure? Why, yes, we can't move back to the mainland only to risk contamination by all of the mutated near-humans there. In order to make the United States safe for humanity, all of the mutants must be first exterminated. Well, you're clearly insane and that's monstrous. I don't think so. I prefer to see it as social Darwinism at its finest. The survival of those best able to assure their own reproduction, the success of future generations of the whole human race, depends on us. Change is probably the one universal constant. Just because we are different doesn't make us bad. If anything, we are living proof of humanity's resilience. As such, we deserve to survive even more than your people do. I hadn't ever stopped to think about it this way. Please, give me a minute while I think it over very carefully. Okay, take your time. It's a big concept to swallow. Sure, yeah, it's a very big concept to swallow that maybe destroying 98% or however, probably even more, 99 point something percent of humanity is over subtle differences in DNA may be wrong. Yeah, that's a big concept to swallow, to be sure. I hate to admit it, but you may be right. What we have been planning all along just isn't right. I was so blinded by trying to overcome the obstacles that I didn't think about the morality of my quest. Well, now you have thought about it. You should destroy the toxin. No, that wouldn't work. Why? Because they would just start over. Even with me dead, there is enough data between here and Navarro to ensure that they could replicate my work. Only something more drastic will be enough. More drastic? What do you mean? The Enclave must be destroyed. Completely destroyed. If we are not, then we'll just pick up the pieces and start over somewhere else. I'm sorry to hear that, but how do you suggest the Enclave be destroyed? I think that the best way is just to release the FEV into the air filtration system. Since the Enclave is a sealed system, that should take care of everyone. What about my people, or me, or you for that matter? I can release the antidote into the air system for all cells. The detention level is served by a separate air filtration system from the rest of the Enclave. Everyone will think I'm just running more tests. You, I can inoculate directly, here and now. He reaches for you with a syringe. Okay. To be honest, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, because that was a very sudden heel turn, and there might be a slight possibility he's actually faking it, and he's going to kill me with poison, or something like that, or with the actual FEV, I guess. But also, I kind of question whether it's a good idea at all. Like, I guess the game is suggesting to me that I must destroy the entire Enclave, but wouldn't that amount to genocide in itself? Because if I understand this correctly, if they want to rebuild humanity, they must have civilians here as well, you know? Their families, their wives for one, their children and all that. So I would have to kill them all, which is bad in itself, but with the FEV no less, that would be a very painful death. So I'm not sure if I want to do that this way. I wonder if I refuse, can I get back to it later? I guess it's safer to refuse and look for a different way. So wait a minute, you're not sticking me with that thing. Don't you understand? Without it, you'll be dead in a matter of hours. Wait, is he going to do it anyway? Because if he's going to release the toxin, then of course I need the vaccine. But I wanted to make him not do it. Like, I guess I will refuse it, and if I die, then I'll just start over. And I guess agree to it. But I would prefer if he just simply didn't do it. No needles, no way, no how. I'll take my chances. You'll never make it out to free your people unless you're inoculated. What's the matter? Afraid of a little prick? Oh, I guess I don't have a choice. I'm locked into this. So, hooray for virus-driven genocide, I guess. I'm going to kill everyone in here in pretty horrible way. But that's my only choice, apparently. I cannot back out of this? I guess not. As long as I don't watch you do it. Ouch. So what happens when you release the FEV? It's not pretty. You should leave as soon as possible. But I'd rather have the weight of 1,000 on my conscience than several 100,000. Our time is through here. We had our chance. How can I free my people from the detention area? You should probably shut down the power. I know that the reactor is controlled by a large computer near the reactor bay, but I don't know exactly what you would need to shut it down. I need to blow it up? I think one of the villagers, or it was the overseer of Vault 13 that suggested that. Now get moving. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of impressed by this guy's ability to see his own mistakes up to a point of actually killing himself over it? Because I presume that's what he intends to do. But maybe, I guess this is complicated because my opinions of him differ rather drastically depending on how many inhumane experiments did he conduct up until this point. How exactly has he hurt people and in what magnitude? But if he's willing to see the mistakes that he made and the evil of his ways, then maybe as a skilled scientist, he would actually be of use to humanity if he himself escaped. So let's at least propose that. And if he chooses to die, trying to atone for what he did, then I guess that's also okay. I totally get how he would feel that. And I, again, kind of respect that. I respect the ability he has to do that, to reach that conclusion, but let's at least propose that he should get out. About time for you to come to your senses. Now get moving. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamp make thee? Huh? What? Oh, no, just something I remembered from a long-dead poet. I was wondering if there is still a place for those who have worked towards such a dark end for so long. Our time is over. Yours has just begun. Okay, so I guess he's planning to go down with the ship, as it were. He's planning to kill himself as well. Presumably also maybe to stop his knowledge from being used in the future, because obviously he would know how to recreate it. So if, for example, some remnants of the Enclave caught him later on, they could torture him to make him what's the word? Reproduce that FEV toxin again. So, okay, I guess thanks for all your help, Doctor. You're a brave man. And I truly believe that. That is pretty brave what he's doing right now. Not only did he recognize the immense evil in what he did, but he's also willing to lay down his life in atonement for that evil. I'm less enthusiastic about him killing thousands of people in horrible ways, but there wasn't a way of getting out of that conversation, so you're a brave man. Okay, toxins released into the air. So I guess I'm probably on a timer now. Probably should hurry. Move it. Splutter cough. Yeah, my lungs are burning. Some days it doesn't pay to get out of the bed, so they are already affected. But I wonder if the president will have something to say about this. What's this? Stairs down. Okay, this might lead to the reactor. Hey.
You're back? What is it you want?
Wait, so you have nothing to say about the fact that everyone around you is currently dying, coughing blood and all that? Really? Okay, that's weird and kind of weak. Again, it seems as if this area is kind of unfinished, like they were running out of time or out of money, and they just did whatever with it. That's kind of weak. I'm just checking this area. Security check. Okay, but I do need to kill him before I leave and take the presidential key, because there is still the big guy, right? I think his name is Horrigan. He's like a super mutant in power armor or something. He's giant, and I've seen him a number of times throughout the game. He killed the Deathclaws of Vault 13. He ripped them apart. He ripped Gorutar apart with his arms, and he killed the guy from the Brotherhood of Steel. So I presume I'm going to fight him, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Why foreshadow this big imposing guy, and then not use him. So the presidential key would be very useful, because I could use it to turn the turrets against the Enclave soldiers. So how should I go about this? Because the alarm is currently not raised, funnily enough. Like they are still not attacking me, which I find hilarious. You better cover yourself. So how do I approach that? Wait a second. I have a potentially brilliant plan, because stimpaks, super stimpaks, cause they heal you eventually, at first, but eventually deal a small amount of damage. So if he's at full health currently, then maybe I can. It's obviously not going to heal him because he's already at full health. Maybe I can stick him full of stimpaks, so super stimpaks, and then maybe he's just going to kill over from overdose instead of shooting him, because I presume starting a shootout might raise the alarm. So it's certainly worth trying, because if it's going to work, then that would be rather awesome. So let's pump all I have into him. Okay, can I wait here? Like, wait for... I don't know. How long does it take for it to take effect? I guess 10 minutes. Let's see if anything happens. Well, people are starting exploding, which is interesting.
What?
So, are you hurt? You are, but... but not entirely. Damn it. I guess I'm lacking. I'm like... He's almost dead, but not entirely. I guess I'm lacking like 1 or 2 additional stimpaks. Maybe if I finish him off with just 1 shot. Maybe it's not going to raise the alarm. Nope, it did. Damn it. Okay, but this is actually a pretty good idea. I'm just lacking a few more stimpaks. So you know what? I am going to check that other level. And see if I can find more super stimpaks in here. Like, I presume it's only 1 or 2 more that I would need to kill him. Also looking for explosives to blow up the computer that's controlling the cell force fields. So I better remember about that as well. Damn it, I'm just missing a couple. Like 1 or 2 super stimpaks. And as I said, I also do need the explosives. Welcome to Poseidon.net. Okay, this is doing nothing. This is, I presume, the reactor somewhere around here. But how do I even get there? There doesn't seem to be a door that leads there. There is an elevator, but I have not seen another elevator anywhere. My eyes are on fire. Yeah, that's on one hand pretty horrible, but on the other it's kind of weird how they're just standing around waiting for their deaths. Like, shouldn't they be running away or something? I can't see who turned out the lights. I think I'll just sit down for a bit. I don't feel good. Poseidon.net. The game very clearly suggested that there are supposed to be explosives in here. Like, okay, it didn't say that there are, but it said look for explosives in the barracks or something. So I presume there would be, especially if I need them to actually blow up. I presume this is a big computer near the generator area. Stay calm. What's going on here? Oh, you're kind of all dying. That's what's going on. Oh, 3 stim. Okay, so this at the very least, let's disregard that at this point, should be enough to kill the president. Still doesn't solve the problem of blowing up the computer, because I don't have any explosive already on me, right? Like, I need a dynamite or something, because I don't think I can lob a grenade at it. Let's just check to be sure. Seemingly not. They said there's supposed to be explosives in the barracks, but seemingly there are none. I guess I will maybe go back to the other map and check that a little more thoroughly, because it seems weird to me for the game to sort of to so strongly imply such a solution to a problem and then deny you that. Are there any lockers I have not opened or something? I don't see any. Okay, but first, let's take care of the president in a bit of a roundabout way. We'll see if it raises the alarm. I'm not sure, because as I said, last time didn't work entirely and I had to finish him off manually. Because what I presume is that the alarm was raised because of the sounds of the firefight, you know? Or alternatively, he saw me reaching for my weapon But in that case, it would be even more suspicious if he saw me sticking him with needles. So I have to presume it's sound-based? Okay, is this enough? That is the question. Yes, it is. And it seems the alarm was not yet raised, which is interesting and also cool. So... Well, alternatively those might be the barracks, but still, I've searched the lockers here, unless there are more... Okay, there are. They're just very difficult to actually see, because they are right next to the wall. I guess those are my last hope. So hopefully there is something in here. Seemingly not though, so what gives? Oh, there's a whole armory or something in here. Okay, there might be explosives in here, because this sounds like some, I mean this looks like some pretty serious room right there. Okay, plastic explosives, great. Great, that's what I needed, I guess. I hope 2 sets are going to be enough. Get yourself into a clear area now. Again, it's hilarious to me how they are still standing their post while slowly dying from... Well, I guess the civilians died pretty quick, presumably because the soldiers have like gas masks on or something. Or the full power armor is like a sealed system. But they are still standing in place while slowly dying and still don't care that I am a mutant. Well, to their mind, I am a mutant running around. Like, that's pretty weird overall, and I'm not sure if I like that. Maybe I should have let it closer to this big computer, but we'll see if it works. You have destroyed the reactor. Okay. So I guess it did work. Reactor meltdown in 9 minutes 51 seconds. Didn't you notice the alarm? Didn't you notice the alarm? There's no way to open this door. Interesting. Oh, but I guess this door has opened. So maybe this is like an evacuation route? Like an emergency staircase? Okay. Hold, what are you doing here? Well, I'm trying to get back to my people. Well, you know that freak, Agent Horrigan, just stormed past here. He's waiting for someone to try and make a break for it. Who's that? He's some genetically engineered freak, is what he is. Used to be the president's bodyguard, Secret Service Agent Frank Horrigan. Now he's more than half machine. Well, sounds like bad news. Oh, that he is, and worse. He's going to mop the floor with you. He's tough, fast, and just plain mean. I've seen what he likes to do with mutants, and it ain't pretty. I'm not a mutant, and what did he do? I don't like to talk about it. It gives me nightmares. Let's just say that those walls aren't covered with rust exactly. Well, sounds like I'm going to have a hard time getting past him. That's an understatement of the year. I pity you, pal. I really do. Pity me? You should feel bad for yourself. Your power plant's control computer got fried, and now you're headed for a meltdown. You're all dead men, unless... Unless what? Unless you help me get past Horrigan to get to my ship. Okay. I can't talk for everyone, but my squad and I will do our best to help you put that freak Horrigan away for good. I don't want to drown like no rat. Well, good thinking. Let's go get him. We've got to get out of here. Okay, they will certainly be useful as meat shields. So I guess if there's a fight coming up, I should probably save. It's better to do it outside of combat, because obviously this way I'm going to preserve action points. Okay. Let's... Oh! And I still have the presidential key. The access key has what it looks like a presidential seal on it. It appears as though it's used to gain presidential level access to computers, and I can activate that Counter-Insurgency Protocol, which is going to turn the turrets against the Enclave, but it also specifically mentioned how it's going to choose the highest priority target first, so I presume it's going to be Horrigan before it starts shooting those guys. So let's do that. Log on as the presidential passkey security override. Counter-insurgency. Yeah, in the event of an armed rebellion, the presidential security keycard allows defensive system to be turned on all previously loyal but now threatening unit within an area. Defensive systems are programmed to attack the most dangerous foe first. Okay, activate that. Security recognized. Good day, Mr. President. Emergency Counter-Insurgency Protocol initialized. Target acquired. Well, I think I'll stand back and see what happens. Okay, so let me start shooting him as well. Oh frick! I didn't reload. I'm a bit of an idiot. That's the worst possible time to be reloading. Okay, I just barely survived, but he's already severely wounded, so if I can survive the next round, then maybe he's going to die, depending on how well the rolls go for my side. And I still have enough stimpaks to survive, I think, 1 or 2 more rounds. So let's continue. Wow, he clearly is tough. That much is certain. Severely wounded. You know what? I am going to save. I am going to save on a different slot, just to be sure. Because we've done some pretty good damage to him, and I wouldn't like to waste that in case he scores like a very mean critical hit and kills me. But I think he's not long for this world at this point. Still alive. Man, he's very tough. To be honest, if it was not for the presidential passkey and those guys, I don't think I could take him on my own, because I'm barely doing any damage in a round. Most damage is actually coming from those turrets. Okay, I guess he's dead. Ha! Okay, that is a very cool death animation. That is great. You see both legs. Oh, I can still talk to his upper half?
You haven't won here. You and your muty bastard friends are gonna join me in a big ol' mushroom cloud send-off. I just triggered the self-destruct. The work will go on. You didn't do nothing here except seal your own death warrants. Duty. Honor. Courage. Semper Fi.
Interesting, because I would assume he was trying to say Semper Fidelis, which means always faithful, and it's a pretty common motto for militaries. I think it might be a motto for like the Marines in the real world. It's a motto for one of the branches of the U.S. military, and as I said, it's pretty ubiquitous as a motto for militaries in itself, because you know the words "always faithful" are sort of they evoke military honor, I guess. But he said "Semper Fi," so that would imply that he was trying to say "Semper Fidelis," which is pretty weird, but. I guess he probably wasn't highly educated, so probably didn't really study Latin or anything. Just a weird tidbit that I noticed. Okay, but it was very cool that his upper half still moved, and I can talk to his head. Okay. Well, he's still going. Oh. Okay, I guess not anymore. It's finally dead. Okay. Let's get out of here before it blows.
After the Enclave's destruction, the refugees of Arroyo and Vault-13 resettled, building a new community with the aid of the Garden of Eden creation kit. Finding themselves hundreds of miles from their vault, the members of Vault-13 chose to join the villagers in establishing a new community, and their technical expertise, combined with the villagers' survival skills, allowed the new settlement to grow and prosper. 2 generations of the same bloodline were reunited, and their savior, the Chosen One, became Elder, presiding over the village in the years to come. Relations between the Slags and the residents of Modoc flourished. Between the two peoples, Modoc prospered and became a major farming community, supplying all the outlying regions with food. With Metzger gone, slavery disappeared from the area. Becky's casino bar grew quickly, and Rebecca Dyer's reputation as an honest casino and bar owner brought her the business needed to buy out her competition and expand. The den flourished, and it soon gained a reputation for being a tough but honest community. In the years following the destruction of the Enclave, Vault City continued to stagnate, choking on its own isolationism. Its Vault-8 generator, which was never intended to support such a large population, prevented Vault City's necessary expansion. Eventually, the city was absorbed by NCR, which had spread steadily northward since its founding. The Salvatore family of New Reno, having profited from their ties to Navarro, used their laser weaponry to burn the other families into submission. The resultant massacre was dubbed Ash Friday, and is still celebrated in New Reno to this day. Though the Wright family never completely recovered from Richard's death, the knowledge that their killer had been brought to justice eased their troubled sleep. Myron died less than a year after the defeat of the Enclave, stabbed by a jet addict while drinking in the den. His discovery of Jet was quickly forgotten, and now there is no one who remembers his name. Repairing Gecko's power plant prevented any further radioactivity from leaking into Vault City's groundwater. Though this eased tensions between the two communities, they still maintain an uneasy truce. Several years after buying the excavator chip from the Chosen One, Marge LaBarge was able to purchase and control both the Morning Star and the newly opened Cocoa Reef mines. Marge was an easy choice for mayor, and using her new political power, she made Redding join the growing New California Republic in return for a seat in the NCR's Hall of Congress. With the destruction of the conspiracy to destroy the mutants, Broken Hills began to thrive. Then, the uranium ran out. The city, having lost its sole reason for existing, slowly dispersed. The residents carried their riches with them, leaving the place a windswept, desolate ghost town. A few holdouts remained, attempting to eke out a pathetic existence, but eventually, they too disappeared. Your help with Vault 15 launched the New California Republic's push to civilize its neighbors. Though there were many more obstacles to overcome, the NCR now had a foothold into the northern wastes. With the support of the New California Republic, the Vault 15 squatters soon became self-sufficient and productive members of society. By eliminating the death clause of Vault 13, you banished yet another species of the realms of extinction, proving once again that genocide is a viable solution to any problem. The Shi flourished, creating a botanical scourge on the radiation surrounding their beloved town. Though this vine could not grow in other soils, the Shi took care to nourish it in their lands. They continued to grow in strength and prominence, forming the basis of a new empire. As for the tanker vagrants, well, as vagrants do, they drifted on.
Okay, so that was Fallout 2, I guess. The epilogue was overall pretty positive. I'm rather happy with it. I don't particularly care that Vault City got annexed by the NCR, because Vault City was a horrible place that practiced slavery and was proud of it, so good riddance to them. serves them right to be annexed by the NCR. And to be honest, being annexed by the NCR isn't even the worst thing that can happen to you in the wastes. Same goes for Reading, for example. It was also ironic to hear that Myron was first of all stabbed by a jet addict, which he created Jet, so there's already some irony in that, but also his name was soon forgotten and nobody cares or even remembers that it was him who created Jet in the first place. So basically he left no legacy or no memory behind him, and good riddance to him as well. He was pretty obnoxious. The developers of the game really made a good job of making him instantly unlikable. Like from the very first words you spoke with him, you instantly knew that he's a piece of shit, just from the way he looked and sounded. So there is that. What else? But there were a couple of things I didn't understand about the outro. For example, I don't understand why Salvatores won in New Reno. I was a maidman for the rights, and I helped the rights the most, so I assumed they would eventually win. But I'm not sure why it was the Salvatores. Maybe it's because the Salvatores begin as the strongest, and because I didn't involve myself to such a great degree in New Reno, they still remained the strongest at the end. But I don't quite understand that. And the other thing I understand even less is why did the game frame the death of the sentient death clause of Vault 13 as my fault? It said, by slaughtering the death clause, you've proven that any problem can be solved with extinction. But I didn't do that. The Enclave did. The Enclave killed them. I had nothing to do with that, and in fact, I helped them quite a lot, so that seems like a bug to me, and it's pretty weird. Yeah, but generally speaking, I would say the epilogues were rather positive and pretty okay. Excuse me. But as for Fallout 2 as a whole, what do I think about it? Well, it's certainly a lot more ambitious than Fallout 1 in terms of scope, because it was easily twice as long for me to play it than it was with Fallout 1, and there was a ton of content, a ton of quests, different things to do in the Wasteland, and most of it was really okay. I think this game did a good enough job of expanding Fallout 1, giving you kind of more of the same, but on a broader scale. Like in terms of the story, I think also I actually liked, well, maybe not the main quest. The main quest wasn't that interesting to me, but then you have to also understand that for me, ironically enough, having played Fallout 3, New Vegas and 4 first, some elements kind of seem like a rehash backwards, even though obviously it was Fallout 3, for example, that ripped the whole Enclave wanting to purify everyone, but because they thought they were mutants, out of this, out of Fallout 2. So it's just weird for me because I played Fallout 3 first, so some elements of the plot, for example, as I said, the Enclave wanting to purge everyone because they think they are mutants, or the fact that I was looking for a GECK, which in itself I think also appears in Fallout 3, seemed kind of like a rehash to me, but I understand it's, not fair to do it this way, because it's the exact other way around. It's Bethesda and Fallout 3 that's rehashing this, which was first. But the main plot wasn't like mind-blowingly awesome or anything. In fact, I feel that in a way the Enclave were a little bit more boring than the Master in Fallout 1, because they were both insane, and I think their respective plans were both immensely stupid, but at least with the Master you could point out flaws in his plan, kind of, whereas the President Richardson of the Enclave was so self-righteous in his belief that he must commit global genocide that there was no turning him from his path. Although I guess I have to give a point for the fact that I did manage to turn one of the scientists of the Enclave, and he did help me in the end by committing genocide of his own, which in the end was inconsequential because Frank Horrigan, when he died, he activated a self-destruct mechanism, so they would have all died anyway. But generally speaking, the main plot was okay, but nothing to write home about. But where I think Fallout 2 was better for me is some of the side quests. For example, I loved the entirety of Vault City. I loved its structure and sort of the world-building implications of their arrogance and how they thought of themselves as better than everyone else, and how they thought that slavery is actually a good thing, but at the same time they got offended when you called it that, because to them it was indentured servitude. That was a very cool place. Obviously not a cool place to live, mind you, but a cool place to explore as part of a game and as part of a story. What else? I liked the quests in Broken Hills with the tensions between mutants and humans. What else was interesting? I guess the whole New Reno could have been interesting if I was more of a criminal character, because I was hesitant to be involved to be involved very heavily in those quests with the crime families. Maybe if I ever return to Fallout 2, I'm going to make like an evil character and see how it plays. But what else was interesting? I guess the sentient death claws were kind of interesting, but that sort of borders on another thing that I would like to mention that was a bit of a disadvantage, because I think Fallout 2 sometimes went a little bit too much into like a ridiculous into ridiculous premises, because the whole premise with the sentient death claws was pretty ridiculous to begin with, but there were a lot of like pop culture references or fourth wall breaks, even in the main sort of activities. It's not like it was only random encounters. There were like references to KFC, for example, just in dialogue, or references to the mechanics of the game itself. Like you had an option to say, oh, maybe I can find this child because this is a European version of Fallout 2. Like the dialogue itself directly referred to Fallout 2 as a game. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it should be relegated to really side content, Easter eggs to find, rather than something that's on the forefront. But I guess generally speaking, it's a matter of preference. For me, I respond better to drama and to like serious stories. I enjoy dark stories, I enjoy serious stories, and I guess some humor might be a little lost on me. My best friend calls me the chairman of the board for the Society of Sad Clowns for a reason, because I'm not exactly the most enthusiastic person when it comes to jokes and all that. So it's entirely a matter of preference, but I myself prefer a more serious tone, and there were bits of that, because as I said, Vault City, for example, was pretty horrible, and the realities of it, were horrible as well and pretty well presented. I really despised them. The game has done a good job of presenting how horrible this society was. But there were some like weird tonal sort of, maybe not inconsistencies, but some choices that felt weird to me. And in terms of story, it seems also, when we are talking about disadvantages, it seems also that it was pretty easy to sequence break it without even trying very hard, because I went to San Francisco and I had an option to ask about the kidnapped people from Arroyo, but that was before I found the GECK. So I didn't yet know that they were kidnapped, but my character seemed to know. And there were other instances where it was clear that the developers didn't really plan for me to take this route. Like, for example, I had the GECK already, but everywhere my character was asking about it, you know, where to get it, where it is, or what even it is exactly. So that was kind of weird. But generally speaking, if I had to say overall, I enjoyed Fallout 2 a little bit more than Fallout 1 because it just offered more in terms of content, and some of this content was a little bit more emotionally resonating with me, namely, as I said, Vault City and the whole deal with that. But what else? In terms of gameplay, it was clearly better. I really liked the expanded options for the companions, that I finally had an option to give them loot and then take it back, and also give them better weapons. They would equip it, they would choose the best one, they would choose different armor and all that. That was really cool. You could really build a party, kind of, you know, if you had high enough charisma. And on the topic of companions, it was really cool how, first of all, some of them had full voice acting, and you could ask Sulik about different places or about advice on the plot, and he would give you those cryptic pieces of advice from the spirits. But what was really also cool was the fact that the companions talked to each other from time to time. You know, they exchanged comments about each other. It was very rudimentary, but still a welcome change from Fallout 1. What else? Yeah, I'm drawing a bit of a blank at the moment. I will probably write a similar rundown of my thoughts and feelings, like a review of sorts, combined with a summary, as I did after Fallout 1. And if I do write it, it's going to be in a pinned comment underneath this video. But for now, it seems that I can continue the game after the end, and I will, just for a little bit, to see if the NPCs report on my success of destroying the Enclave, if the state of the world has changed. But I am going to do it next time, because this episode is way too long. So this is like the last proper episode. The next episode is just going to be checking out if anything has changed in the wasteland. I'm not going to grind or anything. I'm just going to visit a few cities and talk to NPCs. So if you're not interested in that, or if you already played Fallout 2 and you know that there is nothing to be found, then I guess there's no point in watching that. But regardless, that was Fallout 2. It was pretty good. I had fun. And as I said, I will probably write a more coherent rundown of my thoughts, and maybe like a more detailed comparison against Fallout 1 in the pinned comment underneath this video. But for now, that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!